The Thai capital city Bangkok is one of the most wonderful places to visit for tourists. The city is filled with a vast variety of beautiful and interesting attractions, including ancient palaces, temples, public parks, shopping malls, walking streets, skyscrapers, canals, rivers and more. You can always find one or more things to see it there. In 2020, Bangkok was the second most visited city in the world, so what makes the city so attractive to international travelers? Let's have a look at the 10 most beautiful and interesting attractions to visit in Bangkok. 1. Grand Palace. The construction of the Grand Palace started in 1782, when the capital of Siam was moved from Thonburi to Bangkok. The palace served as the residence of the kings of Thailand until the mysterious death of King Ananda Mahidol in 1946. His brother King Bhumi Boladalyadej, who succeeded him, moved permanently to the Chitralada Palace. Today the palace is a major Bangkok tourist attraction. Part of the palace compound is dedicated to a royal temple, Wat Phra Kaew, the most sacred temple of Thailand and home to the famous Emerald Buddha. 2. Wat Pho. Wat Pho is the temple that houses the giant statue of reclining Buddha, which is measured 46 meters long and 15 meters high. Its impressive view is one of the most Instagrammed views in the city, thus have a look at the statue is a must for every traveler to Bangkok. Beside the reclining Buddha, there are more than 1,000 smaller Buddha images and a number of towering stupas in the temple. Wat Pho is also known as the birthplace of traditional Thai massage, which is still taught and practiced in the temple today. 3. Wat Arun. It's located on the other side of the river from the Grand Palace and Wat Pho. To get there, you'll have to take a boat shuttle that drops you off right in front of the entrance. Wat Arun is especially known for its 82 meters prang, a tower, entirely covered in tiny pieces of colorful porcelain. It's surrounded by 4 smaller prangs, also encrusted with mosaics. Recently renovated, the location is really worth the visit. And if you have the chance, come back in the evening to see it illuminated from the other side of the river. Wat Arun is open every day, and the entrance fee is 50 bahts. 4. Wat Tramat. Just a short walk from Yao Warat Road on the southeast end of Chinatown is Wat Tramat, one of the most noteworthy temples in the capital. The stunning building, also known as the Temple of the Golden Buddha, is home to a 5.5-ton Sukhothai-style Buddha statue made entirely of gold and dates to the 14th century. The Buddha might be worth a fortune, but the entrance fee to see it is not. If you are interested in beholding the way the statue was made, there is an exhibition on the second floor of the temple. On the other hand, the third floor of the temple highlights the multimedia exhibits on the Chinatown of Bangkok and its inhabitants. It is said that the temple is dated back to the early 13th century. 5. Wat Suthit and Giant Swing. Wat Suthit, adjacent to the Great Swing, is one of the oldest and most beautiful of Bangkok's Buddhist temples. 3 kings had a hand in its construction. It was begun soon after the coronation of Rama I, founder of the Chakri dynasty, in 1782, continued by Rama II, and completed 10 years later by Rama III. Apart from its delightful architecture, the temple boasts some exceptionally interesting wall paintings. Wat Suthit is less popular than some of the other temple complexes in the city, so you'll enjoy a more peaceful and intimate experience here. Wat Suthit is perhaps best known for the giant red swing that sits just outside its entrance. The 21-meter-tall swing is made of teak wood and was brought to Bangkok from the province of Phrae. It was used during an old Brahmin festival in which men flung themselves using the 2 side poles in hopes of reaching a bag of gold that hung at the top. The 19th century temple is one of the oldest in the city. 6. Chatuchak Market. One of the biggest markets in the world, and therefore one of the coolest places to visit in Bangkok, the Chatuchak Weekend Market in Bangkok, also known as JJ Market, has around 15,000 stalls spread between almost 30 sections. Huge, but fairly easy to navigate, there are sections dedicated to art and crafts, clothes and accessories, ceramics, plants and gardening, books, antiques, home decor, and more. It's often said that if you can't find what you're looking for at Chatuchak Market, then it's not worth having. Around 200,000 people visit the enormous market every weekend, making it one of the most popular places in Bangkok. Open since the early 1940s, the market has grown into the mammoth that it is today, with places to rest, eat, and drink if you need to take a break from all the retail therapy. 7. Damnon Sajuak Floating Market. The pioneer of Bangkok floating markets, Dam Nan Saduak continues to offer an authentic experience despite its increasingly touristy atmosphere. Imagine dozens of wooden rowboats floating by, each laden to the brim with farm-fresh fruits, vegetables or flowers. Food vendors filled their vessels with cauldrons and charcoal grills, ready to whip up a bowl of boat noodle or seafood skewers upon request. The market is around 100 kilometers southwest of Bangkok. Dam Nan Saduak is the most popular floating market in Thailand, great for photo opportunities, food, and for giving you an insight into a bygone way of life. An early morning start is worth it to avoid the heat and catch Dam Nan Saduak at its liveliest. 8. Khao San Road. It is famously known as the backpacker's heaven that attracts thousands of tourists who come here to shop, eat and pub crawl. The street is packed and crowded all day and turns into a night market in the after hours and will give you the best flavor of the nightlife in Bangkok. It is a 410-meter-long street in central Bangkok which will cater to every need of yours. Street food stalls, bars, shops, restaurants, nightclubs, cafes and massage parlors are all packed into this one street. This road is one of the most famous night markets in Bangkok. It turns into a shopper's paradise as the sun sets down. You'll find everything here at a reasonable rate. Its cheap food, accommodation and clothes make this place a winning combo for all tourists. 9. Lumpini Park. Lumpini Park is a breath of fresh air in the concrete jungle of Bangkok. The lush green park is an escape from the bright lights of Bangkok. This is the oldest and the largest park in Bangkok. You can go there on a family picnic or just sit and relax in the fresh air of the park. The park also has playgrounds where your children can play and have fun. At the beautiful lake in the park, you can go for a scenic boat ride. Smoking is not allowed in the park. Lumpini Park is Bangkok's central park. This sizable green space is well worth a visit if you're a people watcher. At all hours of the day, you'll find people playing sports, walking, biking, practicing Tai Chi, or just relaxing. In a city that lacks much green space, you'll probably crave a little wildlife after navigating all the traffic and vendors in this concrete jungle. 10. Street food stalls. To really experience Bangkok, you have to try the local cuisine. You haven't really done the city without chowing down on grilled meats and fish, spicy noodles, fresh fruit, and curries. If you think you know Thai food, you're in for a surprise. Whatever you've tried before is nothing like the dishes you'll find here. You'll have no trouble at all finding vendors to tempt you with treats all around Bangkok and help you live through a quintessential Thailand experience, tucking into a delicious, if mysterious, meal surrounded by the chaos and heat of the city.